Hello, dear students. Have you ever wondered why we say I am thinking but not I am knowing? Or why I have a car sounds natural but I'm having a car just doesn't work? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of progressive and non-progressive verb structures. In English, verb forms don't just follow rules. They shape the way we express time, thoughts, and emotions. Progressive verbs bring life to ongoing actions, while non-progressive verbs capture deeper states of mind and perception. But there's where it gets interesting. Some verbs can actually switch between these two forms, completely changing their meaning. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer grasp of when to use progressive forms to show ongoing actions, why certain verbs resist the progressive form, why shifting between progressive and non-progressive structures can change the tone of a sentence. So whether you're an English learner looking to refine your skills or just someone who loves uncovering the hidden logic between language, stick around. This is going to be an eye-opening conversation. So without any further delay, let's get started. Hello and welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Today, we're delving into an essential aspect of English grammar, progressive and non-progressive verb structures. So let's dive in and explore the dynamic nature of these verbs together. Now, let's jump right into it. Progressive verb structures, often referred to as continuous, are formed by combining the verb be with the ing form. This combination creates a sense of ongoing action or a state that is in progress. For instance, in the present progressive, we have I'm waiting for the train to come. Here, am, the present tense of the verb to be, is combined with waiting, indicating an action in progress. Let's look at a few more examples. Your desk is being cleaned. Present progressive, passive. Robert called me while I was ironing. Past progressive. Will you be showing me the details of the project this afternoon? Future progressive. I'd like to be sunbathing on a beach instead of working in this office. Progressive infinitive. These examples showcase different tenses of progressive structures, capturing ongoing actions in various contexts. Now, let's explore the aims of a progressive form. Progressive forms not only indicate the time of an event, but also convey how the speaker perceives the event, generally as an ongoing and temporary situation, which is not completed or permanent. For example, I've read the newspaper, completed action. I've been watching a lot of romantic series recently, not necessarily completed. When we refer to a short momentary action, this often suggests repetition. The window was banging in the wind. So there's also a sense of distancing when we use progressive structures, often sounding less definite than simple forms, as they suggest the idea that something is incomplete. Look at these examples. I was wondering if you had a double room. What time are you planning to drop in? These sentences sound not really completed, or they sound incomplete. These sentences actually create a sense of openness and ongoing thought, emphasizing the speaker's uncertainty or continuous consideration. This nuance adds richness to the language, allowing for more nuanced expressions. Now let's move on to explore non-progressive verbs. Mental and emotional states. Expressions like believe, love, and understand often convey a state of mind rather than an ongoing action. Senses. Verbs like see, hear, and smell describe sensory perceptions, capturing a moment rather than a continuous process. Communicating cause and reactions. Verbs like agree, appear, and astonish express reactions or causes, portraying a situation rather than a progressing action. Now let's look at some examples to clarify this distinction. I've always loved classical music. This sentence shows mental and emotional state. I see a beautiful sunset. Now, here the senses are involved. Her success astonished everyone. We have a cause and reaction. So while these verbs typically do not take the progressive form, it's essential to note that in specific contexts, they can be used in the progressive form. For instance, when expressing an act of thinking. I'm believing in your abilities. Or in other cases, these verbs can be used in the progressive form to convey a different nuance. Let's wrap up our discussion with a list of other non-progressive verbs. In addition to the previously mentioned categories, here are some more non-progressive verbs. Be, belong, concern, consist, contain, depend, deserve, fit, include, involve, lack, and then we have matter, measure, need, owe, own, possess, weigh. It's important to note that when these verbs express an act of thinking or a mental activity, they can be used in the progressive form. For example, think. So these verbs could either be stative verbs or action verbs. Let's look, for example, at these verbs. The first is think. I think you're right. So we express now an opinion. We have an opinion about something, about someone. That's right. What are you thinking of? This is obviously expressing a mental activity. Let's consider the verb to see. I see you have a new laptop. So I perceive with my own eyes, and I understand also that you have a new laptop since I've seen it. If I say, let's see, which dress should we buy? Let's see, in this case, means let's consider the situation. Whereas if I say, I'm seeing the doctor this afternoon, it means that I have an appointment, so I'm going to meet the doctor. I'm going to the doctor this afternoon. I have a new car. It means that I own or I possess a new car. I have it. So the verb to have can be used in the progressive form with its fixed expressions. For example, to have dinner, to have lunch, to have a shower, to have breakfast, to have a nap, etc., etc. Look. I could say, that looks interesting. The meaning is, it seems interesting. Whereas I'm looking at that man on the street, he's been run over by a car. In this case, I'm showing the act of looking. I'm expressing the act of looking. And therefore, I use a progressive form. B. This is Jamie, my new friend. Or, the food is in the fridge. Despite being tired, she insisted on completing the task before midnight. So this sentence expresses the act of being. And now it's time to conclude a conversation about progressive and non-progressive structures. Today we've covered the ins and outs of progressive and non-progressive verb structures. From understanding the aims of progressive forms to exploring non-progressive verbs in various categories, you've gained valuable insight into the dynamic nature of English grammar. Feel free to review the slides, and if you have any questions or would like further clarification, don't hesitate to ask me in the Telegram group of this course. Thank you for joining me in this exploration, and looking forward to seeing you in my new lesson.